You are sitting on two of the most powerful organic fertilizers you will ever use, and every time you rake out a fireplace or peel a potato, you are throwing them away. Wood ash and potato peels, fermented together, create a nutrient-dense liquid tonic that pushes potassium, calcium, and phosphorus straight into your soil in a form plants can absorb almost immediately. No store-bought bottles, no chemicals, and no cost. Just two things most people treat as trash, transformed into something that can seriously increase your vegetable harvest this season. This video will walk you through the entire process, step by step, so you can make your first batch before the week is out. Wood ash is one of nature's richest sources of potassium and calcium. These are the two minerals your vegetable plants demand most during flowering and fruiting, and they are the ones most often missing in depleted garden soil. In their raw, dry form, wood ash minerals are available to plants, but they work slowly and can raise soil pH sharply if over-applied. Potato peels change that equation completely. They are loaded with starch, nitrogen, and phosphorus, and when they are submerged in water, they begin to ferment naturally. That fermentation process produces organic acids that break down the ash minerals into a more bioavailable, water-soluble form, which means plants can pull them up through their roots much faster, rather than waiting weeks for the soil to process them slowly. Together, they create a liquid concentrate that delivers a full-spectrum nutrient boost to your vegetable garden with zero chemical inputs. Think of it as a homemade fermented plant juice, built entirely from kitchen waste, that feeds your soil biology and your plants at the same time. This recipe does not require any specialized equipment or hard-to-find supplies. Everything you need is likely already in your home or kitchen right now. You will need about 1 cup of clean wood ash from a hardwood fire, ash from burned oak, hickory, maple, or fruit wood. You must avoid ash from treated lumber, painted wood, or any wood that has had chemicals applied to it, as those residues will introduce toxins directly into your vegetable garden. You will also need about 2 cups of fresh potato peels that are moist, not dried out, and free from mold. The moisture and starch content in fresh peels are what kickstart the fermentation quickly and efficiently. Beyond that, you need 1 gallon of non-chlorinated water, which can be collected rainwater, well water, or tap water, left to sit in an open container overnight, to allow the chlorine to off-gas naturally. You also need a large glass mason jar, or a food-grade plastic bucket with a loose lid or cloth cover to allow the fermentation gases to escape freely. Start by placing your potato peels into the bottom of your mason jar or bucket. Press them down gently to compact them slightly, then add your cup of wood ash directly on top of the peels. The ash will coat them, and when the water is added, it will begin drawing out the minerals and nutrients from both materials at the same time. Next, pour your gallon of non-chlorinated water slowly over the ash and peels. Stir the mixture gently with a clean wooden spoon or stick for about 30 seconds to make sure everything is well combined and there are no large clumps of dry ash floating on top. The water will immediately turn a cloudy gray-brown color, which is completely normal and expected at this stage. Once mixed, cover the jar or bucket loosely with a square of cheesecloth or a clean cotton cloth secured with a rubber band or twine. Do not use a tight lid, as the fermentation process produces carbon dioxide gas that needs to escape freely. Place your jar in a warm spot between 65 and 80 degrees Fahrenheit, such as on a covered porch, in a shed, or in a warm corner of your kitchen, and let it begin working. Leave your jar to ferment for 5 to 7 days, stirring it once each day with a clean wooden stick. Each time you stir, you introduce a small amount of oxygen that keeps the fermentation active and prevents anaerobic spoilage from developing. Within the first 24 to 48 hours, tiny bubbles will begin forming on the surface of the liquid, a clear sign that fermentation has started and beneficial microbial activity is underway. Between days 3 and 5, the liquid will darken noticeably, shifting from a cloudy gray-brown to a deeper amber-brown color. The potato peels will soften and begin to break down, and you may notice a slightly earthy, sour smell from the jar. This odor is normal and indicates that beneficial organic acids are being produced inside the jar. The smell should not be like sewage or sharp rot. If the liquid turns black and the smell becomes extremely foul, discard the batch and start fresh with clean materials. By day 5 to 7, the bubbling will slow significantly, and the liquid will have settled into a rich, dark amber concentrate. At this point, your fermented fertilizer is ready to strain and use on your vegetable beds. Before we show you exactly how to strain this, dilute it correctly, and apply it to your vegetable beds for maximum results, do us a quick favor. If you are finding this tutorial useful, Hit the like button right now and subscribe to the channel so you never miss one of our organic gardening videos. It takes 2 seconds and it genuinely helps us reach more home gardeners just like you. Now let us finish this up. When fermentation is complete, set up a clean bucket or large pitcher and a piece of cheesecloth, a fine mesh strainer, or a clean cotton cloth. Pour the liquid slowly through the strainer, catching all of the softened solids. The liquid that passes through is your finished fermented fertilizer concentrate, and it is ready to use. Do not throw away the strained solids. The softened potato peels and ash residue can go directly into your compost pile or be buried into a garden bed as a slow-release soil amendment. Your concentrate is strong, and applying it undiluted can overwhelm plants and burn roots. Dilute it at a ratio of 1 part liquid to 10 parts water before use. This means 1 cup of concentrate goes into 10 cups of water. This 10-to-1 dilution is the correct and safe rate for vegetable garden applications, and it is the same ratio used for many commercial fermented plant juice products. Apply your diluted fertilizer directly to the soil at the base of your vegetable plants, not on the leaves. Any residue on foliage can cause leaf scorch, especially in warm weather. For most vegetables, 1 to 2 cups of diluted liquid per plant is the correct amount for a single application. Water around the root zone slowly and evenly, so the liquid soaks in, rather than running off the surface. The best time to apply is in the early morning or late afternoon when temperatures are cooler and the soil can absorb the liquid without rapid evaporation. For heavy-feeding vegetables such as tomatoes, peppers, squash, and cucumbers, apply every 10 to 14 days throughout the growing season for the best results. For leafy greens and herbs, once every 2 to 3 weeks is all they need to thrive. You should begin to see results within 7 to 14 days of your first application. Look for darker, greener leaf color, stronger stem development, and more vigorous flowering as signs that your plants are responding well to the potassium and mineral boost this fermented blend delivers. Here's a quick recap of everything we covered today. Wood ash and potato peels are 2 of the most potassium-rich materials you can find in a home garden setting. When fermented together in non-chlorinated water for 5 to 7 days, they produce a liquid concentrate loaded with bioavailable minerals and organic acids that your vegetable plants can use almost immediately. You build the jar in minutes, stir it once daily, strain it on day 5 to 7, dilute it 10-to-1, and apply it directly to the root zone every 10 to 14 days throughout the growing season. The entire process costs nothing. It turns kitchen waste into a legitimate organic fertilizer that rivals many commercial products, without the plastic bottle or the price tag. The results you see in your tomatoes, peppers, squash, and other heavy feeders will tell you everything you need to know about whether this works. This is sustainable organic gardening at its smartest and most practical. If this tutorial helped you today, do 3 things before you leave. First, hit the like button right now. It genuinely helps this channel reach more home gardeners. Second, subscribe so you never miss a new organic gardening tutorial. We post practical, no-chemical methods every week that are built for real home gardens and designed to get real results. And third, leave us a comment below. Tell us what vegetables you are going to feed this to first. We read every single comment, and we would love to hear what is growing in your garden. We will see you in the next one.